Good in the hood? Thank you. What's up, y'all? It's your girl, Stina Diaz, and we are tapped into another episode on Live Fast, Die Pretty. It is the Buenos Dias podcast, y'all. We have such an amazing show for y'all today. We have a dope guest that's in the building. Y'all, I've known him for a long time. I used to actually pull up and make fun of him having my same name. But it's crazy. We got Dos Diaz in the building.
What's up, Miss Diaz? How you feeling?
Yeah, I'm
You the real Diaz.
No.
I'm fake. I came up with that 2014. My
You know
last
what's
name
so
is
funny?
not
We're going to get into that too because you told me the story and I actually asked you. I said, is your real last name Diaz? And you were like, nah.
Yeah, you was so mad.
Yeah,
I remember that.
I'm like, this man really going to run my name, y'all. But outside of that, y'all, Dos Diaz is in the building. I mean, Grammy award-winning engineer, like, is in the building right now. Y'all, let's get into it.
Let's do it. It's good to be here, first of all.
I'm happy that you're here. You know, I've been trying to get this interview with you for a minute. And
I've been trying to get in here with you for a minute.
And we here now.
We here.
So what's up? All right, listen, let's get into it. Let's start off like where you from? What got you into DJing? How'd you segue over into engineering? I mean, honestly, your journey when you first got to Atlanta, and then I told you where we're gonna pick off from there. So
Okay, yeah.
You kick it off.
Yeah, so man, everybody gets mad because when it gets to this part where I'm like, where I'm from, like my friends get mad because it's like I feel like I'm from everywhere. So I'll just say that I'm from everywhere. But I was raised in Jonesboro, Georgia. I was raised on like the south side. So not too far from where we at right now. I'm originally from Brooklyn. My parents from Brooklyn. My dad's he's Bayesian, so I'm really into my culture. But yeah, that's kind of my stomping grounds. That's how
I love it.
That's where a lot of things got started.
Right,
honestly, with music. I always was doing something involving music. I wasn't no sports. I ain't do nothing besides make music, and I started off producing. And I actually started off producing and engineering before I DJ. I didn't DJ until I got to college. Yeah.
Okay, nobody would have known that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Not until like 2013 is when my uncle gave me a board. And I was like, let me figure this out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Let me try something else. But yeah, I started off engineering and producing, recording everybody around town on the south side. Had like a fake label.
I was about to say, what was the name of it? Like, who was some of the first artists or people that you worked with that either have done big things now or like, is it crazy?
Oh man, you know. So I was in a boy band when I was younger, and I was like the lead singer in the boy band. So I ran into a lot of dope people around that time, like Hero the band, my guys Hero, they from the south side. Like their mom was like my teacher.
Yeah.
Vito was over there on the south side. Man, who else, man? He's not from the south side, but I used to see Jacquees a lot. Him and his cousin Issa. It's a lot of good talent that came from over there.
I remember Issa. Yeah. Okay. That was a minute ago. Okay. I love it. So from Jonesboro, or was raised in Jonesboro, from Brooklyn, made your way down here. You segued from producing and engineering into DJing. What was that transition like? And I mean, obviously, you're already musically inclined, but what did that look like? Yeah.
So, I mean, it really was seamless because you know, all of it kind of goes hand in hand, like in that space. So, you know, from understanding, I say like BPMs, which is like the tempo of the music and what that looks like, and being a part of like the creative process, the transition to DJing was just like the icing on the cake. It was like, oh, okay, I can make the record, then play the record.
Right.
At least that was like the goal in my mind before I had like, you know, records that I've been a part of on the radio or on albums and stuff like that, you know, that was like, wow, well, maybe if I keep on doing this, I could eventually play like the stuff that I've been involved with. So yeah, that's just kind of what it just grew into. It just was seamless. Again, it was like the final step in the process in my mind. And I just fell in love with it. Like I'm such a purist. Like when it's something like I start loving, I become such a purist. So I'm like, I remember working backwards. I remember getting like the DJ controllers and then be like, nah, son, I gotta Grandmaster Flash this shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I gotta get to the Technique turntables. I gotta I gotta start collecting vinyls. Like, I gotta become like engulfed in like this culture so that nobody could say like, I ain't a DJ. I gotta know how to scratch. I gotta know how to blend. You know what I'm saying? I was watching like Red Bull 3 style videos. Like I'm about to.
Oh no,
compete.
you was really learning.
You know, like on campus, I was competing. You know, I took some losses, learned from those, and did some competition outside. I just fell in love with it. You know what I mean? And it just kind of took the lead in I think like my music career. You know, in front of like production and engineering, for a good little minute, and open up doors for me to be able to go back to that.
Doing.
Yeah.
So I just want to kick it up with this. What was that first DJ gig like? Because again, you were already musically inclined, but it wasn't like your initial thing. And since you engulfed yourself in it, you feel me? Like, what did that look like?
Man, my first DJ gig, or I should say gigs, were in College Town. In college, like it was these apartments called College Town.
Yeah, I know about College Town.
It was either College Town or Castleberry, and Lord have mercy, like I literally caved in the entire floor. I remember Chief Keef, he posted a couple videos of like, this is when like Finito was
going crazy.
It was like, man, come on, you know, like in the West End of Atlanta, like
it was going stupid. It was
like
going
them floors wasn't safe. It don't matter how many times they rebuilt it or whatever.
It wasn't happening.
Boom, caving in floors, and that just became my goal. Is like, yo, I gotta put a bowl in this.
I gotta break
in this
the floor.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you want to hire me to DJ? What? You don't even. What?
Yeah.
You don't even know what I'm about to do.
You don't respect your property.
You're about to be kicked out. It's over with. You should never invite me. So that was like the first gigs. They were just all apartments, man. I was probably getting paid like $60, but I didn't care. I even moved. I remember I moved to College Town with my good friends, thinking I'm gonna pay my bills like off of like DJing in college, but that didn't really go as planned.
I mean, I ain't gonna lie, it was a little cheaper back then than it is now.
God,
I had a 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom for $600, literally, across the street at Castleberry. Literally.
Castleberry. I definitely had fun at Castleberry.
Castleberry was a time.
Concave, some floors in there. I love Castleberry. They had some weak floors too.
Very weak floors.
Like, what?
I mean, almost to where you bouncing on. You like
it's
on a
over with.
trampoline.
It's over with. And I'd be gone by the time before somebody say something to me. But yeah, that was like the first parties. I didn't really get into to the club until I remember it was this one promoter, man. I can't even remember his name, but I know he did the Welcome to Atlanta parties, and he came to like one of the house parties. I was like, man, you're dope, dude. Like, you're dope, man. Like
I love it.
You know, like LA dude, yeah, you're dope, man. I'm finna get you at Star Theater. That's what it was called. I got this party at Star Theater. And from that, you know, the rest was history.
It just took off.
Yeah.
It just took off.
Yeah.
Bet. So first house party obviously killed it. What made you decide to transition over into Morehouse? Because you were already in Georgia, or in Atlanta, but not necessarily in, the space for it. And then Morehouse being Morehouse, you know what I'm saying? Like, what was the thought process?
I ain't gonna lie, Stina. I ain't gonna lie, Stina. I didn't think it was like the place for me initially. You know what I'm saying? Like very like traditional. But you know, like my dad passed when I was 18, and you know he wanted me to go to Morehouse. Yeah, and I was like, you know what? All right, cool. Like I'm gonna do it. You know, he left some money for me to be able to do that to the side, and you know I just went and you know I was shout out to my man Kennard Garrett and Al Thrash. I still call him Professor Thrash. They had like a few like you know what I'm saying courses that were. They cater to music. Like, it ain't like now. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's a system in every college now for like, for the arts of, you know, it could be engineering or anything creative music-wise. Yeah. But then, it was like history of jazz and shit. I'm like, man, but yeah, like, you know, I went to Morehouse and you know, I really enjoyed it. You know, I learned a lot. I gained a lot. And I found myself, too. You know what I'm saying? Like, losing my father at a time like of 18.
Switching that transition is crazy.
You know what I'm saying? Like I'm like, dag, I need male leadership. Yeah. And then lo and behold, I realized, I didn't really need male leadership. I just needed to find myself and be in a space around like men to understand like I'm a leader as well in what I do. I don't have to necessarily conform to
whatever it is.
The social norms or whatever anybody wants me to be. You know what I'm saying? I want to do music. I'm going to do music. I'm going to come here and I'm going to do business. Yeah. I'm going to get here a degree in business marketing. Right. But I'm here to do music. Right. I'm here to apply everything that I learned to my passion, which could be, you know, like that shit is dangerous. Like,
yeah,
you know what I mean? It's hard, like following your dreams. But I was like, you know what? I want to be the example.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I mean, you have to be. Do you think that going to a school in the AUC, and I ask a lot of people this, because a lot of us are very successful, or at least on our way to being very successful, especially in the music industry or in the entertainment industry in itself. But we went to literally the Mecca.
Yeah.
In the middle of, like I tell people all the time, we went to school in Atlanta. We didn't go to school.
Listen.
Like our college campus was Atlanta.
Yeah. It was a utopia.
Do you think that had a major effect in a positive or negative way on how you outlook on music?
Yeah, I mean, you know, for every positive, I feel like it's a negative, but to just speak on the positive, I love just to speak on the positive, because the negative is like, it's just gonna happen.
Right.
You know, you never take a real, like, for me, it's no such thing as a loss. It's only a lesson.
Right.
That L stands for lesson.
Yeah.
But yeah, like going there, I mean, man, you just
you exposed
how
to
do we
so
explain
much.
it? Yeah, you exposed to so much, but you're exposed to so much, you know, that that's really within yourself.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You know, as a black man, black woman, you know what I mean? You learn so much. You learn that we got so many colors within ourselves.
Yeah.
And the colors, whether that's like, you know, our personality, whether it's, you know, like just how we look at the world, like, you know what I'm saying, within this black skin of ours, it's like, it's so many different colors. So yeah, I mean, I feel like that prepared us for the world. And I feel like for the person outside, they might not look at it that way. You know, it's like, oh, this is a black utopia, but it's like, man, you realize just how many different shades of black it is.
It is.
Like,
and
you know what I'm saying?
The regular black status is not the regular black status.
Not at
I
all.
never knew it was so many different type of black people
Yeah,
until
right.
I got to Clark.
Right.
Like, I'm like, I know the regular,
Right.
you know, the people that, you know what I'm saying? But I didn't know it was these different types of people and then different subgroups of these different types of people.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
and it forces you to just dig within and you know, and to want to know more. I like like, you know, quick story. I remember like my first party.
Yeah.
Not even DJing, just going to. And I remember they were playing like soca and dance hall and a little bit of calypso.
Heard it in my life.
Exactly. And I'm just like, whoa, this is like everything I've listened to as a child and grew up on. But you know, it's kind of like you kind of gotta tuck it.
Yeah.
You know, you in middle school, high school, like
people
you
making
might
fun
run-
of how you smell because of the food you eating at
Come
home.
on, like-
it was onion powder, y'all. It was
on,
garlic.
Come on. And then you're like, wait, there's people like me. You know what I'm saying? So it just exposed you to all the shades of who we are. You know what I mean? So I wouldn't trade it for the world. That is literally my foundation.
Yeah.
My foundation, especially in this music industry. It's just like,
I'm thankful, to be honest with you, because I'm like, dang, I really know some legends. Like,
you know
people
what?
that's doing it really like how they said they was gonna do it. It's happening.
Come on. But you know what? I think even like us, like, you know, preparing for this podcast, like, I'm super proud of you, because like this is amazing. Like, you know, I stole your last name and then, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, you know, nobody knows my real name.
Right.
And I'm like, but the real Diaz is here.
The Diaz is
Congratulations
here. You the real
to you.
Diaz too. 2 times. Talk about it.
it
Those
just-
Diaz. How did it come? You said 2014. And I know the story because y'all, it's so funny. I've known Dos Diaz for a minute. You were DJing at Spin one time. And I finally walked up. I said,
R.I.P. Spin.
Yeah, R.I.P. Peter
On
Street.
Peter Street,
period.
yeah, on Peter Street,
Peter
yeah.
Street,
Yeah,
period,
yeah,
is
yeah.
gone. But I had finally walked up to him, or walked up to you, and I'm like, is your last name Diaz? You like, nah. I said, okay, so why you got Diaz? You was like, Day. I'm Day. You said it 2 times. I'm like, okay, that's hard.
Okay.
So rock with it. Tell me
Okay.
the birth
Yeah.
of Dos Diaz.
Yeah, so this is freshman year of college. And you know, a good friend of mine, he's Haitian. My man Jean Michaels. And I remember we was just now at this point I was taking like Spanish like 101 maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's something lower than 101. I can't remember. But I remember we're in my room in the dorm and he's like, yo, Day. And I'm like, yo, what's up, bro? He's like, yeah, man, you know, I was just thinking about, and he a rapper, like he a fire rapper on top of that.
Yeah.
So he like, oh, you know what I was thinking about? I'm like, what? He's like, you should call yourself Dos Diaz.
Day 2 times.
And I'm like, again, I'm in Spanish 101.
Right.
I barely know what hola means sometimes.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, why would I call myself that, right? He's like, because your name is Day. and that's 2 days. And I promise you, for about an hour, I'm like, nah, what are you saying? I don't know. I don't know what that means.
It wasn't clicking on you.
What does that mean?
Yeah.
And he said, it's 2 days. It's day and day. Ever since then, I just rock with it. I remember trying to figure out my DJ name. It was I had two logos. And that a friend of mine made, and they made, it was said DJ Day Day and DJ Dos Diaz.
Yeah.
And I went around, I asked my man Nello, I asked like a lot of the guys on campus, I was like, which one y'all think I should go with?
Yeah.
And they're like, shoot, just go with Dos Diaz. And so boom, there it was. It was the same thing anyway, like day and day. Literally it's 2 days, thing. Dos Diaz. So
literally it's the same thing.
That's how it came about, man. Shout out to Jean. Shout out to Jean Michael.
I love that. Come on. Outside of being at Morehouse, outside of pursuing this DJ and this newly found DJ career, transitioning into, I don't even want to say an elitist because I don't want to use that word, transforming into somebody who has a hold on the culture right now. I can say that.
Thank you. Wow.
You do.
Whoa.
You do. It's a lot of people. And like you said, when we got to the AUC, there was people that was just really getting into that DJ bag. You know what I'm saying? DJ Holiday, obviously. Shout out DJ Paul. You know what I'm saying? P for real.
Tone.
Yeah, Tone.
Yeah, P for real.
It's a bunch of people.
Who else, bro?
CM the DJ, all of these AUC,
man.
all of these AUC DJs, like it wasn't really known.
Can I shout out them real quick?
Yeah, go crazy. Run down your list.
CM, man, CM, we was in spin, we was in the trenches together. Who else? Of course, my brother Tone, my brother Swank, dang, who else, man?
Mark B.
Oh, yeah. See, Mark B was over at State, so he was like the competition.
Yeah.
But it was unspoken. Like
it was at the same time, though.
Yeah.
It was at the same time, though.
Peasy, DJ Peasy, DJ Miles, crazy. Cody got beats, man. Like it was, what a time it was. Yeah. But I'm sorry.
To manifest that. No, I'm so crazy because I lost where I was going with that. But, no. So being at Morehouse 4 years, cultivating this DJ career, cultivating these relationships, the transition after school.
Yeah.
What did that look like? Because I know for me, I had did all of this Atlanta experience. I had knew, the industry. I had knew these people. I was in these rooms, but I was still unsure of which way I wanted to go with my career or what I even wanted to do. So how did that change for you? Or what was that position or that journey like for you, leaving Morehouse and still being in Atlanta? Like, I already did this, so I got to go bigger. Yeah.
So, what's funny? It feels, now that I think about it, Stina, it's like, it feels more like I kind of like got back to my roots. Cause again, like DJing was new for me, when I got to, to college. And, but honestly, it wasn't really a easy transition.
Yeah.
Because, what you realize is like when I graduated, 2018, I graduate and I'm in the club circuit now. Like I'm amongst like other great DJs. The promoters are like, a lot of them are like guys I went to school with.
Yeah.
But, you realize like the importance of like negotiating and knowing your worth at that time. And, I was like, for a minute, I was getting paid like I was in college. And I didn't have those conversations because for me, it's like,
it didn't opportunity.
Yeah. And it didn't even matter if I went to school for business. There's so much that I just really I'm not good at on my own, at least at that time. And I got caught up in a web of having fun, getting my name out there, making sure everybody else has a enjoyable time.
Yeah.
But I can't even pay a cell phone bill because I'm getting paid like $150 for 3 hours.
Now you spending $50 on whatever you drinking.
I'm spending $50 on parking. Right. Like I don't even got a parking spot. You know what I'm saying? So the transition, or I should say, like I reverted back to. I wouldn't even say reverted back to. Like I just got back to my roots. It was forced. It was forced. I'm in the club circuit, doing all these lit clubs, man. I'm at Oak Atlanta, going crazy. We created the definition of what brunch is right now. I will say that. And
again, icon. You think I'm saying this lightly, and I'm not. I'm really not.
Nah, man. I'm just a regular guy. But yeah, like like things shifted in a very natural way.
Yeah.
Boom. at that time, 2019, I start engineering more. I put my pride aside because I had been engineering since like 14.
Yeah.
But you know how you could kind of learn something like a specific way and it only be your way, but it might not be the world way.
Yeah.
So you're like, I got to get out of my way. So at that point, you know, I started assisting for, you know, like an engineer, my man BJ. He was, you know, engineer for Young Nudy, you know what I'm saying? And you know, I just kind of humbled myself. No matter how much experience I felt like I had, I'm like, no, I need to sit up under somebody who has the opportunities, because at the end of the day, I'm gonna be a talent in the basement if I don't move around, if I don't, you know what I mean? If I don't meet people. And that opened doors. And then boom, 2019, you know, I, you know, get my first credits in the, you know, on Nudy and Pierre's Slime Air project.
About to say, 21 was on there, right?
Yeah, Savage was on there, and all of my credits and everything that I touched, everything that I had part of on a mixing process. It literally, like, there was like a you know, a big feature on it. So it was like Savage, and Nudy. It was the Mr. record. Extendo, that's Nudy and Uzi. Dispatch is Nudy and
you did a bunch of Nudy
Baby.
for a minute. You did a Nudy run,
and it led to like the next opportunity, which was me working at LVRN. Shout out my man Naj. And you know, he hired me on the day of, like, Nudy had like a release party at LVRN looking for engineers, being in the right place at the right time, and you know, that has exploded into what it is now. But overall, I'd say, like, you know, I just got out of my ways. I just put my pride to the side and I said, no, I'm going to grind for this, because this DJing is cool, but this is not, I can't survive all of this with how it looks right now, at least. You know what I'm saying? And then boom, here comes the pandemic. It stops everything for me. I'm like, this is the perfect excuse for me to get out the club. I'm gone.
And do whatever you want to do.
I'm sorry, Julio. I'm gone. I'm sorry, PB. I'm gone. I'm not going to do it. I'm about to dig down. I'm about to get right mentally. And then boom,
everything starts taking off. So before we even get to the pandemic, because 2019, you had a crazy Oak Atlanta run.
Oak Atlanta one is crazy, but it was like that. That joint was crazy.
Y'all, when I tell you, we knew what brunch was, obviously, but it wasn't taken to this new level until, let's be honest, until that 2018, 2019 era, where our age group became grown enough to where it's like, I don't want to party this late. I don't want to get in at 6, 7 in the morning, which I probably still will. But if I could start my partying into like 3, 4, you know what I'm saying? Get daytime drunk. And
and it go about my day.
Yeah, that Oak Atlanta run was crazy. How was that? Because, I mean,
oh, man.
The Sundays, the lines, I mean, shout out his squad. Shout out Corey with a K.
Shout out
Anthony.
Control Your Crowd.
Control Your Crowd. Suave. All them, like, that run, I think, really changed the trajectory of what Sundays and Saturday days look like in Atlanta.
Absolutely. Atlanta, and I'll go as far as to say in, like the rest of the U.S., you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure.
You know, we could own, like, thinking back to what social media meant at that time, you know what I'm saying? Like, such a prime. Obviously, you know, it's ongoing now. It's a part of, like, what we do, but such a prime. Like, you know what I'm saying? A lot of things, like, I remember Instagram happened when we were in college. Like, you know what I'm saying? In real life. Like, I remember uploading my first pictures to see what it is now. To see what it became at that time, like, it was everything. So you saw what was going on in Atlanta. You know what I mean? And, you know, not to get to the pandemic too fast, but even then, like, Atlanta still was going on. You know what I'm saying?
Atlanta
but that Oak
run,
it never closed. But that Oak run was crazy. It did a lot for my brand as a DJ, and it showcased me to the rest of, like, everything outside of college. It was like, I'm Dose. You know, like, the first bookings, I remember, like, that was like a lot of like I remember Ari was getting booked, Jada Wade was getting booked.
And this is before they took off to what they are now. And this is why I said,
super early.
I don't know if it's because we were here when Atlanta first started kicking out, because we got here when Amigos, Rich Homie Quan, Thug, like that whole second wave of new rap, or that new wave of rap was hitting, that new cadence of like, you know what I'm saying? And we had a lot to do with that as far as pushing it.
Yeah, I remember my man Trey Trax, shout out Trey Trax. I remember, like, man, he brought Lotto. He had Lotto come out to Oak. And it was just when she had that bitch from the South record.
And that ATL
and then boom, another year later, you know what I'm saying, he brings Saucy to Oak. and it's the walk record.
Yep.
Or honestly, it probably was before the walk.
Yeah,
record.
it was before the walk.
You know what
record.
I'm saying?
Yeah.
So man, that Oak Atlanta run was just crazy.
Yeah.
And I'm thankful for it because it made me realize like brand awareness.
Yeah.
And marketing yourself is just the only way you're gonna make a name for yourself and make money and provide for whomever you want to provide for. So yeah.
Before before we get too deep into like 2020, because I told you like after that's when it just started being real, natural and happening organically for you. That transition from knowing your worth, you said a little bit about it and like knowing when to walk away.
Yeah.
I do feel like there's a lot of, not necessarily even DJs, but just people in the music industry and entertainment industry, period, that do a lot of stuff for way less than what it is worth, right? So it kind of like makes you look a different way.
Yeah.
How did you maneuver through that conversation? Because a lot of people like to play out here.
Right. Yeah, I think I think it's always going to be a problem in your career. It just comes in different shapes and forms, right?
Yeah.
For me personally, it was tough maneuvering through it, but like for me, it was just, again, like natural things happen, like the pandemic, like to where maybe on my mind, I'm like, I gotta get out of the system.
Yeah.
Like I can't survive doing this. This is not going to create like a living for me. Solely this. And boom, here you got natural things like, the pandemic happened to where it gave me an out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I said, oh no, I'm gone. I can remember arguing, my man Julio, he's my man, so I can say his name. But like, I remember being at Best Buy. I don't even know what I was looking. Oh, you know what? I knew what I was looking for. I was looking for like one of them little selfie lights and stuff like that. Because this is early. This early like streaming. You know what I'm saying? Right. I'm on Twitch at this point, and I'm like looking for like little products. And I remember being on the phone with Julio, and it might have been Rico on the phone, and they're like, man, nah, we need you to come out of the club, da-da-da. I'm like arguing with them. I'm like, I'm not coming back. Yeah. I'm not coming back, yo. Yeah. And I didn't tell them what was going on in my mind at the time. I think I said, I used the pandemic as an excuse. I'm like, yo, I'm going to be outside. I don't want to get nobody sick in my family. Yeah. I'm at my mom's. I got my siblings. You know what I'm saying? I'm like the oldest of 5. Like, I don't want to get nobody. I can't do this.
Yeah.
But in all actuality, I'm using it as an excuse because I'm like, I don't want to do this. I don't want to do it in the way that I'm doing it right now. Yeah. And I have to transition. So, like I said, it happened quite naturally to where I was able to take the time to think about it, regroup, and be like, I'm going to focus on engineering. Yeah. And it's going to be from ground zero again, but at least I'm going to be focused. Right. And for when it's time to come out to the world, when it's time to, do what I need to do and accept those opportunities. Like I turned down a lot of opportunities around that time. Yeah. Like working with this person. And, the one opportunity I was like, no, I'm not going to be scary. I realized I had bad anxiety. Yeah. I said, I'm not going to be scary.
Oh my God, ain't that crazy?
Yeah. Like my hand used to shake being in certain rooms. Yeah. My hand used to shake on the mouse, like when recording, certain people. And especially like, in, with rappers, like, men, we tend to always have like some type of like, superiority, ego. Yeah. Look at you. You just spilling, ain't you? You like, yeah.
I mean, mind you, I'm amongst a lot of men in this industry.
So you understand.
So like, I've learned not to make myself smaller in these rooms. Like there used to be times where I would be shaking before I get on the mic. Like, what is gonna be my first word that's gonna come out? And then and then it just starts flowing naturally.
Right.
But like,
absolutely.
That disconnect is crazy, or even having that anxiety because people don't think you have it. And it's okay. I just learned that I'm an introvert. How am I an introvert? Like, that's crazy.
You're like an introvert. But I can
introvert,
relate to
extrovert.
That.
Yeah, like I get my energy from other people, but also I would not naturally just be out if I didn't have to be.
But also, I think like on a side note, like creating this like this person, like that's who Dose is to me. It's like I'm an introvert as well. I be chilling, like I'm cool. I like being at the crib,
out the way.
Like I don't like nobody know what's going on with me. And it's like, you probably like the same way, but you create this person because at the end of the day, you have that gift. Yeah. And you know that it's gonna like lead to your success.
Absolutely.
So you detach from like, Stina.
The feelings, that come along with being this character.
This superstar, you know what I'm saying? this personality, you know, as I do with like Dose, like this engineer, producer, like, you know what I mean? You know, DJ, like, that's not me every single day. Yeah. You know what I mean?
That's real.
Yeah.
So when did you team up with Mark B? And of course, that is going to segue over into No Sections, because y'all created another curated event, which has become very popular now. People tired of the club scene. They tired of getting dressed to go sit on the couch.
Yeah.
And you almost feel weird doing it now because the club culture is not the same in Atlanta. Y'all created No Sections.
Yeah. So, you know, me and Mark B always have been put on like parties together, whether it was college, especially after college. Yeah. And, you know, just kind of growing in our respective fields, you know, him doing everything with Savage.
Yeah, you know, crazy with Savage. Yeah. Again, shout out Mark B.
Shout out Mark B. He's on the road right now.
That came out and y'all playing, but
hey, listen, you know, we don't even like,
we ain't gonna address it.
We can address it, like, you know, when it comes to lists, it's all, you know, at the end of the day, I think that it's just all about who somebody knows. Like, especially if I get like left off a list, I can't get mad, because it's like, you know, I just wasn't at the top of your mind. It be people who don't be at the top of my mind, I forget all the time.
Yeah.
So I try not to hold it to them, and, you know, we just move forward, because at the end of the day, everything we're doing is so much bigger than that.
Yeah, and it's all love. Like you said, we creating a culture down. We're pushing an entire culture
when you lead,
from one city.
Exactly. Like when you lead, when you're a leader, you can't expect for people to get in. You have to take that in. You have to understand, like, it's not gonna look perfect to everybody. But I mean, that leads to, like, you know, with me and Mark B, like, I feel like we've always led, you know, in our spaces. Him being over there at Georgia State and me at Morehouse, and then afterwards kind of getting like even more closer and running like parallel to each other. Like him working over there with Savage, me being over here like working with Summer. Yeah. And you know, eventually it was like, dog, you know, the things that we could do was just endless.
It's ridiculous.
You know, he's always had, you know, his FYM brand, the Fuck You Mean brand. And, you know, we ended up teaming up, you know, and you know, creating this company to just push just artistry and everything that we know how. And No Sections is a product of that. We got like engineer days, producer days, songwriter days. You know what I'm saying? But you know, No Sections is just like everything that we didn't agree with during our time in the clubs and being in that circuit. It's like, no, let's move the sections. Let's go to traffic and let's just tell them to get all the sections out of here. Yeah. Let's put curtains up and let's make this a party, because at the end of the day, people want to have fun. Yeah. And there's other music that we want to play besides
the same set.
Exactly.
Same set. So for people who haven't been to No Sections, explain what that looks like. And again, obviously it's, you know, pretty self-explanatory, but people don't really understand, like, prior to social media blowing up, people was really dancing in the club.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Like,
especially outside of Atlanta.
What?
Yeah. You can't see, Atlanta's got this spelled thing, right?
I'm like, what happened? I just don't know where the transition went from Thirsty Thursdays and people passing around blue motherfuckers.
You went crazy.
What?
You just went so crazy.
To now we are dressed up, sitting in the club, not doing anything, looking like we don't care. Thirsty Thursdays.
Blue motherfuckers. You went crazy just now. But I think that, okay, so No Sections, right? Yeah. No Sections isn't, you know, just the parties. It's like me and Mark B. That's our name as a group. So it might not literally not be any sections in the club. Yeah. But the energy and the spirit of having fun, minus the sections. You know, like, I have nothing against hookahs, but minus all these things that involve you to be sitting down in an environment where there's music playing, your favorite song is playing. Just go. It's like, it's encouraging you just to have fun. Yeah. It gives you the mute. We literally play everything. You know, we're very cultured. My man Mark B, not a lot of people know, he's, you know, his family's from the Virgin Islands. Yeah. I love, like, you know, like the Hispanic culture. I love the Bad Bunnies. You know what I'm saying? My last name Diaz, you know, and I only know but a little bit of Spanish. I could start the conversation off, and then after that, like when you said hola earlier, that was about,
I don't know where we going with this.
I said, you know, I hit you with the muy bien, gracias, y tú. We're gonna call it a day. But yeah, you know, that's what No Sections is, and it's so much more than the parties we're doing. We got records that are getting ready to come out. And we're gearing up to release, and you know, we're just like, we trying to be a part of history, just like the people we've like
Absolutely.
studied, like the Daft Punks, the Major Lasers, Carnage, Diplo, just all Steve Aiko, like all these, people that we've watched over time, especially like the duos. Yeah. It's like we can do this for what we do.
Yeah. In the space that we have created, obviously.
Right.
So segueing over into 2020, this is when you got your out for DJing. Mm-hmm. This is when you started going crazy on Twitch. Mm-hmm. Is this when the vlog started, or did that come? So the vlog started in 2020 also.
The vlogs.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Forgot I was doing that. I need to get back on that.
You was definitely doing the vlogs. I told you I've been keeping up, like watching this video. I'm telling y'all. Again, that transition, the pandemic was such an intense time for creatives because we didn't know how to pivot after that. We had never had a space where we were making money off of social media. We was looking at people kind of weird for overly posting on social media once it got, extended. But moving your paths or your crafts and everything over to social media, how were you able to shed light on what you were doing, and how were you able to gain traction just to your Instagram? Because a lot of people had to get you that way then. Yeah,
so I thank God, like early on, I made that decision, especially when it came to social media, to kind of like pivot towards solely what I do. Mm-hmm. This, in my mind, I already knew, I'm like, this is going to become a modern resume, because I, up until maybe like for some I had applied for like last week, like I hadn't had a resume in years, because most of my business, most of anything that happened, whether monetary and opportunities, it happened through like social media. So I think for me it just enhanced. I said, how can I get ahead? And to be honest, moving towards Twitch. At that time, I was DJing like on live and stuff like that. They were flagging like you were playing songs, so that caused me to like move towards like using things like Twitch and hopping on live there. But then I realized, I'm like, wait, I can like also apply like my engineering stuff over here. I can like break down mixes of my like people that I'm working with, my man Childish Major, anything that I've done. You know what I'm saying? Like even like the smaller wins. There's people who want to learn from this, and
absolutely.
It just grew for me. It just seemed like, okay, this is something that I can do. I learned like, the softwares, the OBS. I learned how to edit, make everything. Like, how can I do all this myself? Up until I'm able to afford to have like a team and things
to
of that
help
nature.
me do it. Right.
So, it was everything like social media. I just literally was like, I have to take more risk. Yeah. Like I have to show up for myself.
It's for people to show up for you. Absolutely.
That's it.
So it's so crazy, again, talking about this social media transition. What would you tell anybody who is aspiring to do what you do, how you do in the facet or the capacity that you do it, them leveraging their social media? Because a lot of people are still eerie and weird when it comes to social media.
Yeah.
What are some tips to kind of like ease that initial blow of posting what you want on social media to leverage it? Because again, it's a digital resume.
So somebody who is a former perfectionist, former. I'm a former perfectionist now.
Okay.
Like I'm not even on that. I'm like, oh, press play.
Yeah.
That's all we're saying. That's all me. Like my man Sean Garrett, all we say is press play.
Yeah.
Just press play. Don't overthink it. You have to, for one, it starts obviously like within yourself, right? To maintain some type of form of discipline, right? When it comes to you posting or with whatever you believe in, you can't get caught up in how everyone else is looking at it. You have to be insane about your career and what you believe in. And that comes with discipline.
Yeah.
After discipline follows consistency. You can only be consistent if you have some type of structure to what the hell you about to be doing for X amount of time.
Yeah.
So that's just my advice, is just to be disciplined, because it's going to lead to the consistency that you want in your career. Whether that's like you dropping a song, like, man, you done heard this about 1,000 times.
Yeah.
You drop a song, promote the song and promote it and promote it and promote it and promote it. You want something, you want to DJ, you want to go on tour, promote it and figure out the creative ways that's going to lead to you doing that at a hyper level.
Yeah, or the level that you want at least, because it doesn't even have to be hyper, but whatever level you want to do it.
And then my last, being disciplined is going to lead to you being consistent, but also like embrace being uncomfortable. You know what I'm saying? That's like the biggest advice I have. Like I'm uncomfortable all the time. I'm uncomfortable. I mean, now, not, like I'm comfortable and this feels great.
Nice chairs.
Yeah, I like these chairs.
Shout out to Culture
I like
Lab,
these chairs. Shout out to Culture Lab. I like these chairs, but I'm comfortable in my seat, but I'm uncomfortable mentally because there's things that's going on that are literally out of my control and that I've never done before. But you know what? I am so ready to tackle it. Like you can't tell me nothing.
Yeah.
So if you practice being uncomfortable, like you're gonna win.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Do you see any rising producer, DJ, engineers in the area that you got an eye on right now? It's kind of like, dang, I see you, little brother. I see you, little sis.
Man, I for definitely engineers. My little brother, he's in here right now. His name is Ciento. On credits is Darius Ciento Bishop. Yeah, he's definitely doing his thing. He makes his own music, and he has for a while. But in this transition with him engineering and me as an older brother trying to create like those opportunities for him, like he's just thriving. You know what I'm saying? And he's working at a big studio. The clientele is incredible. And he's grabbing those opportunities. He's doing assistant work for me. So for me, I definitely would highlight him because
that's dope.
Yeah, he's like I mean. Obviously, we got the same father, so I ain't gonna be like he's a product of me,
right?
But he's a product of me. You know what I'm saying? Like, and so I take pride in like paving it forward and making it easier for like the generation below me.
Yeah.
Whether that's in like teaching through me and Mark B's FYM Engineer Days, Producer Days,
I was about to say, and I do want to get into that like next. I do want to know about that. You do the Producer Days, the Engineer Days, and the Songwriting Days with
and DJ Day. Yep.
Yeah, DJ Day. What is how can somebody be a part of it? Two, what do those days look like?
Yeah.
And then of course the ideation of even doing these types of things because you do writer camps, you do these networking events, but you never really have a specific day geared to one specific thing.
Yeah. So I mean, it started. Mark B came with this idea initially about like Producer Day, and then we added on all the other days. It's really like anybody could be a part of it. Yeah. It's free every single time we do it, and before we ended up kind of like joining with like specific partners in like the school systems. Like we just did Georgia State Engineer Day and Producer Day maybe about like a month ago.
That's fire.
And we're working on like of course the AUC one. I gotta go back home.
You gotta go. I gotta go back
home. So I'm taking my time with it. You know what I'm saying? I'm calling the right people I need to. But it started just as like free initiatives to kind of expose those who may not be able to, connect those dots for themselves.
Absolutely.
And to put them in rooms with people who don't mind sharing this, don't mind breaking this record down and being like, okay, like for me, I've done like, I've done records that, I've done, with Summer Walker and other artists as well.
Yeah.
And showing them like, okay, look, it's not as complicated as you thought it was. As an engineer, like you thought this was going to be super elaborate, didn't you? Yeah. Well, no, let me give you the story behind it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And with Producer Days, putting these top producers, like my man Kid Hazel. We've had Kid Hazel. We've had my man First. We've had like a lot of producers.
Yeah.
We'll put them in rooms and then pair them up with like other producers who may not, they may have reached out to them in the DMs, but here's the opportunity for you to RSVP for, like a time slot to be in the room with Kid Hazel and cook it with Kid Hazel.
Yeah.
And then we take that production and we place it on like the artists that we have on FYM or just shop it around. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's basically what it is. It's just like, just teaching and showing for free, because at the end of the day, everybody can't afford to go to like a Clark Atlanta or a Morehouse to, you know what I'm saying? To enhance like their education on exactly what they do, or they're not even given the opportunity in those spaces. So yeah, it's something that like, I definitely love doing, like, just teaching and just showing, and it helps me not be such a perfectionist at the same time, because I used to get really caught up in something being perfect. I gotta know all of this to show somebody else this. No, forget that, yo. Forget that.
I know enough to pass this down.
I'm gonna pass this down because you see the value in what I've already done. So
I love it. So segueing over, that first event you got called for, LVRN.
Oh yeah.
Walk us through that. You said it was like a gig, or was it a?
Oh, this is like engineering. Yeah. Oh yeah. Man, damn. So pandemic. Man, what's the name of that app that was going crazy during the pandemic? It's Clubhouse.
So, oh my God, Clubhouse came and went hella fast.
Yeah.
But it was going crazy though.
It was going crazy. Yeah. So everybody's on Clubhouse, and there was like this specific group for like LVRN, and as small as the company was at that time, it was still people who didn't really interact with each other. So I'm like I was a staff engineer, moving back and forth from working with them and my man Childish Major, like DJing for him and engineering his stuff on the road. I met this my man Mo, like he was in there. We just connected. I think at the time he was my brother Justice. He's one of the co-founders of LVRN. He was his assistant at the time.
Okay.
And so we just connected, man. And literally the next day, I remember I was streaming, and it got to about like 8 o'clock. And Mo hits me. He's like, "Yo, bro, what you doing tonight?"
Yeah.
I'm like, "Shoot." Then I just got off stream. You know what I'm saying? I just got off stream, like showing, breaking some record down. He's like, "Yo, we need you for this. I want to grab you for this summer camp that's going on in the next hour. They need a replacement engineer."
Yeah.
And I'm like, now mind you, I done turned down a lot of stuff already during the pandemic because I'd be like, nah, I'm with my family.
Yeah.
But I ain't gonna lie, I'm really just scared of shit. I'm just like, I don't feel like seeing my
The pandemic was a scary time. Like, let's be real. And we just moved on from it like nothing happened.
Yeah. But see, at this point though, Stina, it was like, I was making an excuse.
Yeah.
Because I was just I learned I had anxiety. I'm like, I don't want to be around anybody new and not perform, being a perfectionist. You know what I'm saying? And some in me was just like, nah, forget it, those. Like, go do it. I drove up to Buckhead, and they had a whole camp situation. And summer wasn't there.
Yeah.
But it's like, everybody's like working. And I'm so glad I went because, I met who is now a brother of mine, Sean Garrett, the Pen. And, we just hit it off. Like, I just understood, like my uncle, Rob Stevenson, he's a vocal coach, but he's like vocal coach to like the stars, like Summer, SZA, Lizzo, Dave Matthews Band, like Rihanna, like Justin Timberlake. Like I watched him over years, you know what I'm saying? And he's also trained me vocally. So my background is in like singing and vocals. I love harmony.
Don't you know how to sing?
Absolutely.
Really?
Yeah. I'm not trying to pressure you. Just can't stop thinking about you. You ain't even really gotta be my girlfriend.
Stop playing with me,
so here's the thing. So it's funny because he's also the one who taught me to do that.
Right,
like
exactly.
If somebody's like, you can sing, like, sing for me,
I'm
gonna do it.
For it.
And that's just kind of how I practice. But like, shout out to my Uncle Rob, man. But yeah, my background is just singing and, and vocals and just understanding, just how to move your vocal here.
Yeah.
2-3 part harmony here and here. Let's do an answer here. So with somebody like who's so elaborate with vocals, like Sean Garrett, working with like Beyonce, Chris Brown, Usher, like these huge,
elitist.
You know what I mean? Like huge names, done these huge records. I was able to keep up with him on the vocal side, but also understood like he records like the method that they, like a lot of like engineers or even rappers, they follow, people like Young Thug and Nudie and Savage after the punch in method. So it's like a combination, a hybrid of both. So I'm just keeping up with him.
Yeah.
And then by the end of the night, like Sean is like,
I could work with you.
He's like, I remember he turned to Justice. He like, that boy good.
Yeah.
He good. You know what I'm saying? And the rest was history. I locked in with him. Ended up becoming a Summer Walker engineer.
I'm about to say segue into that because obviously we're not gonna skip over that. Still over it.
The GOAT.
And Clear EP. Like, come on.
Yeah. So it started with the Still Over album. So I recorded the entire Still Over album. And shout out to my man Ali, Mixed by Ali.
Yeah.
One of like a legend and my idols. Got to work with like a lot of my idols and stuff like that. My man, my boy Noise, you know what I'm saying? Circuit, all those guys that I met over there. You know, it was just a year-long experience where I had to duck my head down and just be like, I gotta create. Like, you know what I'm saying? I was like, I was broke as hell. Like, you know what I'm saying? But it's just
that's how it be though. Like you gotta be broke. It's not, Instagram is lying.
You gotta feel it. Like, there's
you gotta
no way.
Feel it.
There's no way that, like, it's just not gonna work if you're thinking about the money, man. Like, you gotta show people that you have like a pure heart and purely want to create. Yeah. Like the money, of course, you want to make sure somebody's there to handle your business if it's not you. But at the end of the day, you want to make sure like you good. Yeah. You focused in, and I was locked in on them records. I was literally like locked in for like a year and some change or still over it. And it, you know, I think it created a trust between, you know, like me and Summer. Yeah. Like, you know what I'm saying? To where it went from me being her engineer to like a friend that she can talk to, and all beyond even just talk to, like she could do music with. She could count on like me to like be there. Yeah. So, you know, it led to a whole bunch of stuff. You know, after that, we went feature crazy like the next year. You know, won a Grammy off of
won a Grammy.
Yeah, won a Grammy off of Kendrick Lamar's Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers. Yeah. You know, got a nominee off there. And like a lot of, thank God, like a lot of platinum and gold, plaques, like a lot of first for me.
Dawn FM.
Yeah, so yeah. Summer was she was on the Best Friends remix with The Weeknd. And it just opened up a lot of opportunities. And it made me realize, so I gotta think bigger. Yeah. Cause like this is happening right now. But you know, when you're a kid, you think about like as a musician or like somebody who's, you know, working in music, you think as a child, like the goal is to win a Grammy. Yeah. And I'll never forget sitting in the living room, watching the Grammy, and watching the Grammys, and it's like, we all going crazy. Then I'm like, I gotta go get back to work. And I literally went back. I went to go to session.
It's time to get bigger. It's time to do more. Yeah. When you first heard of that Grammy nomination, what was the emotions going through your mind? Because again, that would be your ultimate goal, you know, or one of your ultimate goals. What was going through your mind? Like, how was that process?
Man, I just was like, I was just sitting there, and I'm watching it, and you know, I will say this. You know, Still Over It wasn't nominated for a Grammy that year. Yeah. But I took the time to understand how it worked, or I was interested in like how this process worked. And so, you know, of course I'm like all live. And then when they announced Kendrick's name, I was lit, but then the feeling literally, you know, it just came and went. Yeah. I'm thankful. I thank God, because it helps with my resume. It helps with, you know, people trusting me in what I do, but it's still work to be done. Yeah. And I'm happy that I thought about it that way, because the work got done to where, you know, following up after that, you know, work with Summer doing the Clear 2 EP. Mm-hmm. And, you know, that was an EP that was very true to her and what she wanted to do, not what everybody wanted her to do. It was like about her, which I love that. And I think everybody should take from, you know what I'm saying? Like, you got to be a little selfish sometimes.
Especially with your craft and your talent.
Come on. And so, you know, she created that out of love, out of where she was in life. Mm-hmm. And it's nominated for a Grammy now. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, it feels even crazier than last year, you know, versus, you know, working on a record like that. That's, you know, that's awesome. Yeah. You know, that's wonderful. Yeah. But to be a part of the start and the finish of one, it's like a whole different feeling. Yeah. You know, and I'm just so proud of her, because it's just like, you know, I think God he'll just send things your way and like give you like, you know, confirmation that you just doing the right thing, that you need to keep going, especially in your darker times, you know, not just the darker times, but especially in them dark times. Yeah. You know what I mean? So yeah, like, you know, here I am now, you know, it's a couple plaques later, you know what I'm saying? Right. You know, a Grammy. You feel me? You know, and we go, you know, we back to back right now. So hopefully, you know, we get the win. But, you know, regardless, I'm just happy, and I'm already in next year. I'm already in 2025 next year.
You have to be.
You know what I mean?
It's so crazy, because we talked about the anxiety and dealing with, you know, just the lifestyle of being in this type of position, you know? Summer Walker was also very vocal about her having those same things or having those same experiences. I'm assuming that's how y'all got closer outside of working.
Yeah, but you know, to be honest with you, like, you know, it obviously, you know, it started with like, you know, the music is always about the music.
Yeah.
But what it is like, I play my role. Like, I don't never try to overstep and to advise somebody who isn't looking to be, you know, advised. Like,
Absolutely.
at the end of the day, she's a very smart woman, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, and she's very intelligent.
Yeah.
So every step is calculated, you know, for her. And I respect that. I have to learn from that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and, you know, with her being like my sister, it's like, you know, I think about that. And, you know, of course I'm naturally like, you know, concerned with anything that she might have going on.
Yeah.
But, you know, it's like when you're in a position like an engineer, you wait till she's ready to get it on record, because that's what opens up like that space. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like it just makes the creative process even more special.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because that's what her music is. It's pain.
Yeah.
So it's like, I'm gonna wait. I'm not even gonna hit Summer about that. Like, I'm gonna wait till we get in the studio
Yeah.
because it's gonna be poured out on record.
Yeah.
And then we could talk about it there for the benefit of the music.
Yeah.
And making it, because it's somebody else who goes through.
It obviously is doing what it's supposed to. Grammy nominated. Yeah, it's so crazy because going through these processes and these life changes, you know, in your career, with us not being even 30 yet.
Yeah,
you know
facts. Yeah. I was thinking about that the other day. That's what's crazy.
It's a lot to look forward to. How do you continue to push yourself? And I don't even want to say for greatness, because sometimes 40% is 100%. Sometimes 20% is 100%.
Absolutely.
Pushing yourself to go beyond what you know you can do or what you think you can even do. How do you keep yourself grounded?
You know, I think the biggest way I keep myself grounded is literally just by living my life as normal as possible.
Ooh.
Being amongst like these heavy hitters, these people that have accomplished so much. I thank God that I'm in their worlds, a part of their worlds, because what helps me stay as normal as possible is seeing just how normal they are.
Yeah.
Summer Walker's a normal person. Sean Garrett's a normal person.
Yeah.
Black is a normal person. And all these people I call my friends. Daniel from Division is a normal person. My man 1985 is a normal person. All these emerging artists I work with, Sad Boy, a normal person. Man, even people that I've met, you know what I'm saying, work and gotten the chance to either work with or be in their presence. J. Cole is a normal person. And it helps you realize like there's normalcy in this. You gotta want to
find it.
You gotta find it and be it.
Yeah.
And so that's what helps me stay grounded. It's just being in the worlds of all these artists that people look so high. They look
Put
up
them on
to.
a pedestal type.
I get to be like, if I'm not their friends, I get to be associated with them, or I get to just at least have a conversation to be like, I need to practice that. Especially like somebody like J. Cole. Like I've met him in 2 occasions. And then the third time that it was some type of interaction, like very little, was mixing that Audio Hug record that's on the Clear 2 EP.
Yeah. I seen it on your page. Okay.
And see, that was the Dreamville session. So I was there. That was my first time meeting him.
Okay.
The second time, you know, I got the honor to, you know, like accompany my man Childish Major. And, you know, we drove out to the Carolinas to you know what I mean, to go work and chop it up with him, you know what I mean? And I remember him, you know what I'm saying, playing records, and we just having like, just being normal, just having a conversation. Now I'm just letting you listen to the records he's putting out now, or how intelligently he thinks, or even fast forward to like the Audio Hug record. And hearing how he's paid so much attention to Summer's life without even knowing her, to be able to like put it on a record.
I think that's probably one of my favorite songs.
Wow.
On there, to be honest with you, it's so genuine. Like, and I think J. Cole is a major piece of the hip hop culture. You know what I'm saying? And for him to shout out Ari, for him to shout out Summer Walker, for him to shout out SZA, the women, and obviously no knock to any other R&B artists, but those are the women who are staples and holding that natural soul in the R&B realm right now. He shouted him out. I'm like, you right.
And it's just and now even with you saying that, and now even thinking about it on like a record like that, Audio Hug, like he's just going like, hey, Miss Walker.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like opens up the record like that.
Open letter.
I'm thinking about you. Mm-hmm. I just heard you had another little baby. Congratulations. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like the normacy in that is what you want to practice. It's just on record for the world to see, for you to obviously benefit off of.
Yeah.
But that's just what keeps me grounded, is because I'm like, shit, J. Cole normal.
Right.
Summer Walker normal. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, we all are in the same space. And I think it's easier because I'm in the space versus somebody who isn't, you know what I mean? But I think if you practice that, like, you know, from the get-go, like, once you do end up in those spaces, it just helps you even advance and for people to trust you, because they're like, oh, you're not out here to get me. You're not out here to take advantage of me. You know what I mean?
And use me for my likeness. Because a lot of people do.
Come on.
So what does a day-to-day life look like for Dos Diaz?
Man, I like mix a lot of records. But as of late, like in these past couple months, I've tried to integrate like other things into my routine. So like right now, like fitness is a big part of like my everything.
Yeah.
So, you know, I go to a trainer. I also like, I work out every day, on my own.
Yeah.
I do that on like the beginning half of the day. I might like go and do some meetings, you know what I'm saying? Just try to chill out because my nights is done for. Like,
it's over with.
Yeah,
it's a wrap already.
It's either like I'm engineering and doing records until 5 a.m.
Yeah.
And it might be 2 sessions. Like, like Summer might hit me and we might get in, and then I might go to Sean Garrett later, or I might have to go to this studio or that studio. Yeah. And if it's not that, I'm DJing.
Yeah.
So that's like every day for the most part.
Where are you DJing at now?
Nowhere.
So it's just all pop-up spots.
It's all pop-up. Yeah.
Okay.
And I love it that way. It's like you gotta get me for a curated event.
Yeah.
A special event. It's gotta be big. And if it's not that, it's my offense. It's no sections. You know what I mean? So I like it that way because, I'm cool off the club.
Yeah.
It's just in my opinion, it's not the same as when I was there, and it definitely ain't the same now.
Yeah. What you think the differences are?
I think the difference
from a DJ producer perspective.
Yeah. Okay.
Not even a goer, but just, on our end.
I mean, the difference in the club right now, honestly, is the most important thing. It's the music.
Yeah.
The music right now, it's a lot of the same stuff.
Yeah.
And that's why you see people venturing off in terms of taste, or even trying different records. Like, the emergence of like I'm a Piano. Afrobeat's been here for
I love
definitely some time. And most people, they might not know a lick of what they're saying, but it feels good and it feels different and it makes them dance. And, I talked about this at one of my engineer days, you know what I mean? It's like, I'm a Piano. It's fresh, but it's not new. It's familiar to you. It's a lot of like the house music your parents probably listen to, or the house music you've listened to. Those BPMs are very familiar. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm a Piano, it sits between like 113, and I'm being like super technical and shit, but like 113 and even up to like 118, maybe 120.
Yeah.
What else exists in that world?
Yeah.
At that tempo, at this right here. This is house music.
Yeah.
This is so much. This is EDM.
Yeah,
this is top 40. This is everything. You know what I mean? And so it's familiar and it feels good. That made you feel good. Why wouldn't it just feel good? Atlanta's very it's hip hop driven, which is great. I love hip hop. But right now in a space where everybody's trying to figure out what's next and what does different sound like, and get out of the consistency in what has become normal. In terms of like maybe lyricism, especially production. Until then, it's like people going to start branching out.
Yeah. It's funny. We had earlier we talked about how you were at Spin. I mean, again, in those earlier stages of when we were like really creating the sound of what it sounds like in the club.
Yeah.
It's so funny now to this day when I hear a certain type of songs in a row, I'm like, this started from the AUC.
Yeah. I wholeheartedly.
This started from the AUC.
But it goes back to what we were talking about. It's we were like, this is like Atlanta's like Black Mecca, first of all. So to have like these groups of colleges together, creating this utopia within this mecca. It's like, you know, a lot of different things. Like, I remember when I was in college, like I was in love with go-go. I was infatuated with go-go music. Of course, I played like all the Caribbean stuff and like that. You know I was known for that. But like just taking blends and pieces of this, that, and the third was already what we were doing. You know, to now, like, you know, a lot of people, they're doing like, you know, what they, you know, they call it like mashing up, you know, but even like that root, that word, that mashups, that's like, you know, that's a West Indian thing, you know, under a whole different umbrella of how music is created. But to see it at least have some type of title and people running with it, to be able to be creative, like an excuse to be creative as hell with making music and DJing, it's perfect. So yeah, I mean, definitely, like the AUC, man. It's crazy. I thank God for it.
So since we changed it one time, do you think we could do it again?
Absolutely. I think everything happens in a circle.
Okay.
Nothing is just there's nothing new under the sun. Nothing new under the sun. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So it's like this already happened and it's gonna be new. Yeah. And it's like the numbers show it, whether you're looking at charts, the success of records, the type of records, you know, what's at the forefront, what's at, you know, back, like country music right now. It's like, it's thriving right now. It's always been thriving, but everybody's paying attention to it. Our people are paying attention to it, you know, because at the end of the day, like, it happened before. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, my grandma was listening to like Donnie, you know, like she would listen to like those folks, you know what I'm saying? So here we are again, you know, here we are again.
Yeah. I think helping with these younger generations coming up, and when I say younger, obviously, you know, 18 to 24, you know, those age groups, I do feel like we're setting a standard for them. Do you want to like give insight, pros and cons on just the industry, more specifically in Atlanta, or things that you've witnessed or even experienced personally to where they could either avoid or kind of capitalize on without having to necessarily go through?
I'd say just avoid being complacent and avoid like falling into the norm. You know, it's just, you know, I feel like at this point in life, especially for me, everything that I'm saying or everything that kind of revisits me is like literally like I've learned it before. I've learned it in like kindergarten. Yeah. Share. Yeah. Words like share. Yeah. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like those that still apply for us being adults. So yeah, my advice is just think outside the box, man. Think outside the box. Think about what the next looks like. Like think about what you have to do in order to make a difference. Yeah. Because if you follow in the lines of what's going on, you're gonna be washed with whatever's going on right now. Yeah. You gotta think about tomorrow. Like after you make whatever, you know, after you make whatever happened today, you need to be thinking about tomorrow. Yeah. Because whatever happened today, you should have been planning for yesterday. You get what I'm saying? Last week, yesterday. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So you should be thinking about the next day already. Yeah. And, you know, as long as you just kind of just follow that way of thinking, I think, you know, you'll be fine, whether that's in Atlanta or wherever.
Wherever you are. I love it. Y'all, this is Buenos Dias Podcast. Stina Diaz, Dos Diaz. Let them know where they can find you at, all your socials.
Yeah, for sure. So all my socials are at Dos Diaz _ DosDiaz.online is my website. You can see a lot there. Follow FYM Records. Yes. You know, me and Mark B, we're doing a lot of big things, from the producer, engineer, DJ days, songwriter days, to No Sections. Yeah. And we got a lot more in store, a lot more coming up. So follow FYM Records. And yeah, just get ready. I would tell people to get ready for 2024, but I'm in 2025. So go ahead and get ready for 2025 while you're at it.
Yeah. I love it, y'all. This is my homeboy, Dos Diaz. It's your girl, Stina Diaz. We tapped out.
The real Diaz.
Yeah, the real Diaz in the building. Now the realest Diaz is in the building. Y'all make sure y'all like, subscribe, follow all of the good things in between. Stay tuned because we got dope stuff coming up. We not stopping here. Take off. That's lit.
We did it.
I love
my
you.
Girl, I love you.
I fucking love you.
Well, I kept on moving this shit. I was moving this shit so much.
I'm weak as hell.
God damn.
I'm like, before these cameras go off, let me.
You did that. It was like,
you feel me?
It was this one. It was that one. I was like, oh, okay. We talking for a minute.
Yeah, I tell you, okay, we going.